So the subject or the title of the video, Hungry Trucker or Content Trucker, what is the best way to be? So here is what I mean or by that, or here's what I was thinking when we decided to go with that title. Here was kind of the mindset, right? So sometimes I know for me, I don't know if this is all trucking, or if this is just being an entrepreneur, or if this is just the way of the world, how it is right now. You guys can help me with that along the way while we doing this live stream. But I woke up the other morning, man, and I just was in. Sometimes you wake up and you're in a little funk when you wake up, and I woke up and I was tired. I was really tired. Sometimes you get real tired. You get fatigued, if you will, right? And I woke up the other morning and I was just feeling like, man, I'm so tired of feeling like I have to make as much money as I can every single day. I'm tired of feeling like I have to I have to go and get it as much as possible. Like I gotta go and get it every single day as much as possible. And then when that doesn't happen, because things change, in your day throughout your day. If you're driving a truck, I don't know about y'all, but it does for me. But then when things change, it changes your plans. It throws everything off, and it's like you start feeling like, damn, I'm losing money. Okay, because a lot of times when I get started in the morning or at the beginning of the week, I got a plan or I got something that I would like to see happen during the week.
And it changes.
Yeah, and sometimes it changes, right? I mean, and sometimes it don't change. The point that I want to harp on in this video is just how exhausted I was feeling the other morning, and the exhaust was a feeling of overwhelming, overwhelmment. And I feel like it was based in just like, man, I gotta be optimized every day, every single day. I gotta go and make as much money as I can. And the thing that creates that feeling inside of me, again, I want you guys to let me know your feedback on this. I got questions for you on this subject, but it's the feeling of not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow. And that's the part that I say right there is I don't know whether it's just trucking or whether it's being an entrepreneur or whether it's just the way of the world right
It's
now.
just the way of the world
You feel like it's
right
just the
now.
way of the world. Why you say that?
Because I feel the same way.
You feel.
Like going to a job that,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool, but like having to get up at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning just to make sure I get some hours in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
to go work somewhere an hour and a half, 2 hours away, just to make sure we got some money coming in
Well, yeah, okay, I
or
got you.
to balance what you bring in.
Okay. So, but now here's here's the feeling that I really want to harp on here and talk about here is the feeling of not knowing where your next dollar is coming from, right? See, like the basis of, and
The
again,
end of the
this might
equation.
be a life thing, okay? But the feeling, the basis of entrepreneurship, this is just from my perspective, is about being able to comfortably operate in a space of uncertainty. That's what self-employment is about. And that uncertainty comes from, again, like the basis of self-employment and entrepreneurship and, being a business owner is a lot of the times, you don't know where your next dollar is coming from, right? And I actually feel privileged as a truck driver, as a owner operator. I've been an owner operator for almost 3 years now, and I don't know if this is a big deal or not. It seems like it is to me. I've never had to look for work really as an owner operator. Right? I've ever since I've had my own truck, work has been secure. And even before I bought the truck, for the 5 years that I drove for my pop, work was always pretty secure. It wasn't never too many periods where the truck didn't have work. And even with that, there's still the feeling of, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So I gotta get as much as I can today, because who knows what tomorrow is gonna bring.
Right. And
You
if
know what I mean?
tomorrow comes and you don't
Something don't happen
work,
right,
then you're
something
like,
blows up in
dang, I
my
should have
face.
ran
I
that
should have
extra load.
exactly,
It's
exactly,
like, why
exactly.
not go?
Exactly. And
Being
it's
tired.
exactly. And it's always a lot of the time it creates an anxiety, I feel. For me, I don't know for others, but a lot of the times it creates anxiety for me. We trying to get our legs straight here. We playing footsies over here, y'all. Y'all just don't see it. You gotta move your leg back that way,
Trying to give you
babe.
some
No,
room.
you good. You good. You good. You good. But yeah, it's that feeling of not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow. And like I said, I've always had pretty secure work, in trucking, but there's still the feeling of, again, like you just now said, if things happen, if something runs short tomorrow, if something break down tomorrow, if a facility closed tomorrow for whatever reason, if something happened, it's like, man, I should have ran harder yesterday. I
Right.
should have ran harder last week. Right? I should
Right.
have ran harder last month, last quarter. Man, I should have been running them loads while they was coming. I shouldn't have been turning them loads down,
You think about all of those that you could have ran.
Exactly. You
And
think about all of the quote unquote missed opportunities.
right.
So here's the first question. Am I the only one experiencing this? I want you guys to let me know down in the comments. I saw somebody commented earlier, um, that they didn't feel like, Amethyst said, I definitely agree. It's the way of the world right now. I got you. All right. Let me know what you guys think about what I'm saying so far down in the comments. First of all, let me know, am I the only one that feels like that? A lot of us feel like, I got to get everything I can today. But again, for me, what creates that feeling is a feeling of not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. So whether you're a company driver, whether you're an employee and you're just hanging out on the live with us tonight, or whether you're an owner, operator, business owner, whatever, I want you guys to let me know down in the chat right now. What's your thoughts on that? Am I the only one that experiences that feeling, or do some of you guys experience it as well? If you experience it, let me know down in the comments. Sweatpant Riot said bedtime for me, man, but I'll stay tuned for sure, and I hope you get your school going. We definitely working hard on getting the school going. Sweatpant. Malone Tane, you needed a vacation. It's part of the life to need some me time. Well, definitely, that's definitely true, Malone. Amethyst, you're definitely not the only one. I got you. Let me know. Amethyst the only one. Amethyst and Malone, the only one so far that have commented. Malone says not the only one, bro. Let me know. Let me know if you're here. I want you to drop a comment. That's why we doing this. We doing this for interaction, right? I feel like lives do a whole lot better when it's us engaging back and forth. So let's engage back and forth, right? Gamer Tech 72, definitely not the only one. If I don't get at least 2,500 miles a week, I feel I missed out on a lot of money. Dathan Garrett, hey, helpful trucker, I'm interested in becoming a truck driver. I'm still in my current career. Have you ever heard of anyone driving part time to see if truck driving is really for them? Dathan, stick around till the end of the live, man, and we'll double back to your comment, if we can. That's actually not the subject matter, and I don't want to be all over the place, with the live, right? So Gamer Tech, I'm guessing you have that feeling of uncertainty because again, we know that things are up and down, right? A lot of people have that feeling of, I got to go and get as much as I can today. I don't think everybody experiences the uncertainty of what's going to happen tomorrow. That's what I'm questioning whether everybody feels or not. Matt says, I know that feeling. There are so many things working against us to get that next dollar. We don't what's
No.
around that next corner. We don't know what's around that next corner, from fuel breakdowns, politicians with laws to limit us, and etc. It's a lot of things. I've made videos on that before. It's a lot of things that control our paycheck. That's the way that I word it, in trucking. Things that we don't necessarily have control over. Yvette H, I feel that way, and I'm not in the trucking industry. That's interesting to hear her say that. She's not even in trucking and she feels that way. I don't know. And again, I guess that's why I'm saying I don't know whether it's a trucker thing, whether it's a
Right.
self-employed thing, or whether it's just this is the place that we are in the world right now. This is how people are feeling. Like, yo, like I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, so I gotta get all I can today, and then when something happened tomorrow, then I'm thinking, damn it, I should have done something different yesterday.
Then they changed the technology.
Mechanic 350. I'm starting CDL school in May as a refresher course. Had my CDL covered 25 years, but never used it. Appreciate you
Right.
being here, Mechanic 350. Amethyst, trust me, Dathan, I'm wondering the same thing. You're not alone either. Mechanic 350 cost me a lot of money. Matt, we might be forced to buy electric by the end of the decade, from what I'm hearing. Appreciate you being here, Malone. Absolutely. All right.
Should I some?
Yes. Yep. So, so all right, you guys have let me know what you feel on some of this. So, and also you guys have let me know how long have some of you guys been driving? Let me know that. Let me know that down in the comments. You guys that haven't let me know that. Some of you, I know about some of you guys. Some of you guys have already said, you just getting your CDL or whatever. How many of you guys, okay, Mechanic 350 says 0. How many years you been driving? Um, are you a company driver or an owner operator? Let me know that down in the comments. Definitely, I would like to know that about as many of you. I want to know who I'm talking to here. Okay, Gamer Tech says a rookie, 16 months. Mechanic 350 is just getting started. 0.
I think we all feel this way since
Yeah,
2020.
that's
As
interesting.
bow ties
Bowtie
says.
says think we all feel this way since 2020. That's interesting. That's interesting. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how to deal with
I think
in
we
this
all
in
feel
this in this
tired.
live stream. Say it again.
I think we all feel tired. I think
Yeah.
exhausting trying to hold together what we had, but we know we ain't going back to that.
hmm
And things are changing so much that just like, how do I operate in this environment?
Yeah.
Like it's you don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Uncertainty.
just figuring this thing out.
Amethyst. I've driven just regular cars for close to 3 years straight, but never drove a huge truck like a reefer or a flatbed, which is something I would like to go into. Gamer Tech is a company driver with Martin Transport. Got you. Og Banton 1, appreciate you being here, Og Banton. I see your comment. Chavez Emmanuel is a company driver. Amethyst, I was a transporter at my old job, moving cars all over Houston. I got you. Mechanic
Yeah.
350 says nobody wants to hire you unless you have 2 years experience. It's a little bit difficult to get hired if you don't have that experience, but that ain't necessarily true that nobody wants to hire you because everybody got to get started from somewhere. But it's a good point that you bring it out, Mechanic 350. All right, so what's another question I want to ask you guys here? Here's a good question for you guys. Mechanic 350 says he drove in the military. Got you. All right.
Me too.
You drove. Yeah, you did drive in the
I
military,
did.
didn't you?
I did 8 years.
So again, we want these lives to be valuable, and you guys' comments are making it valuable. I want you guys to let me know down in the comments what, in your opinion, what's different about trucking than you thought it would be. I want you guys to let me know that down in the comments if you can. In your opinion, what is different about trucking than you thought it would be? Everybody got a preconceived notion about what the industry is going to be like, what the profession is going to be like before they get started, and then most people are hitting they go through a part of or a period where there's like they be being hit with a dose of reality. Basically, it's like
Hit
I
the
didn't
pause button.
I didn't know this was going to be like this, right? What are some? Let me know down in the comments. What are some things that are different in trucking than you expected it to be? Okay, because like this to me actually adds to the subject. Tony Robbins says, and other people have said, expectation is what causes unhappiness, unmet expectation. Do me a favor, call him and tell him I'm live. Family, do
Okay.
me a favor real quick, family. My phone just rung, and I want you guys to I want to make sure verify that my audio didn't break out. Can y'all still hear me? Somebody give me a sound check in the comments. Let me know if you guys still hear me. My phone. Somebody just called me. Sometimes that'll cut the audio. Appreciate you, Mechanic 350. I appreciate that. All right, so yeah, what's different about trucking than you expected it to be? Like I said, unmet expectations. A lot of the times mess us up in trucking. Captain Corky, glad to have you here, boss. Getting ready to start CDL school very shortly, but I have a felony that is over 10 years. Will that be a big hurdle for me as a new driver? Captain Corky, you don't have to double back to that at the end of the video, boss, or once we get done with the subject matter, all right? Out of sight, out of mind. I like your YouTube name. What type of trucking? I'm not understanding your question. Out of sight, out of mind. Abby, yeah, Captain Corky, audio still good. Bow ties. Well, I wasn't aware of all the regulations. So bow ties says that the amount of regulations that we got to deal with in trucking, or that the trucking profession got to deal with, blindsided her a bit. She wasn't or he, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's a he or a she. You can feel free to let me know that in the comment, bow ties. But they says they wasn't aware of all the regulations. Again, everybody has a way that they expect trucking to be. A lot of the times when we come in trucking, we realize it's just a tad bit different. Gamer Tech 72 says, being away from my wife 5 days a week. Never had that in any job before. That was different than what he expected to be, right? So, again, to me, having an expectation of how things are supposed to be, and then they not being that way, to me can is definitely relevant in that subject of how to mitigate the anxiety of the uncertainty. Okay, I guess one of the first things you might want to consider, or a person might want to know or be aware of before they get into trucking, is we are operating in an uncertain environment right now. So again, just hearing you guys kind of validate what I'm feeling lets me know that, again, this might just be a part of the environment right now. And I can't necessarily blame it on the uncertainty of my trucking job, or hauling wood chips, or driving a truck, or being an owner operator. It might be that I can't blame it on those things. It might just be, this is the place that we are right now. So in between lines, you motivated me to get my CDL back in 2020. I listened to the process of getting my CDL from you every day, and it worked. Thank you very much. From Cali. My favorite video is what to expect in truck school. All right, got you. All right, so the average person in here, got another question for you guys. I told you this is gonna be about interaction, man. It's gonna be about interaction. This is not about me coming on here and teaching you guys something. Obviously, I want to share something with you, but we do these lives because we want to engage with the audience, right? You got it straight? Got you. All right. So let me know, how do y'all run? I want to know which side of the title you guys fall on. Are you the type of driver that you're more of a hungry driver, or are you the type of driver that you're more of a content driver? Let me know that down in the comments. How do you run? Are you the type of driver that every day you absolutely feel like you have to get it because you know that what's going to happen tomorrow, or you definitely feel like anything can happen tomorrow? Or are you the type of driver where you're what I would say a more content driver, meaning you just take things how they come, and you just, like, I'm not going to get too frustrated by it. It is what it is. I can't control it. I can't change it. Being upset about it ain't going to help me none. Like, let me know in the comments, how do you run? Which way do you run? Let me know. Comment hungry trucker, or comment content trucker. Again, I'm just trying to get to know a little bit more about where the audience, who you guys are exactly, and how the average truck driver that's on this live likes to run. Basically, that's what I'm asking you. How do you run, right? You like to run, be hungry, or you like to kind of just, I'm gonna lay back and it is what it is, and I'll kind of just, I'll take it how it comes, and whatever. I'll make the best out of whatever. What'd you say? My brother-in-law drives trucks in the States and makes a good living. So since I'm about to retire from my job and also going through a divorce, I've decided to relocate and take up trucking. Gotcha. In between the lines, you taught me everything from running the pre-trip and an in-cab inspection and air brakes. I appreciate the love. You guys sharing a lot of flowers, but damn it, give me some comments on what I'm talking about. Give me some comments on what I'm talking about. All right. How do you run? Let me know. Let me know. Amethyst, let me know. In between the lines, let me know. Gamer Tech 72. Bow ties. I don't know if bow ties driving yet. Captain Corky, out of sight, out of mind. Let me know, how do you guys run? Do you consider yourself on the hungry side, or do you consider yourself more on the content side? Like, I just take it. I know truckers that are content. My brother, I see my brother as a content truck driver. He just kind of takes it how it comes, and just he's like, man, whatever, man. You know what I mean? Me, I'm like, man, I got to get it every day. I don't know what the hell gonna happen tomorrow, man. I got to go today. I work for 36 hours a day because I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Gamer Tech 72, hungry driver for sure. Looking for hazmat loads because they pay more. Always trying to get the most pay in a week. Are you motivated by the uncertainty? Gamer Tech. You're a hungry driver. Where's that hunger come from? Are you motivated by the uncertainty? Are you hungry because you got bills to pay? Are you hungry just because you just a hungry individual in life in general? Let me know. I'm waiting on your comment. Brady Truck Life. If it's supposed to be Brady Truck Life, I apologize if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Get it, get it, get it. I already know that means he a hungry
Every day.
driver.
Number
What that means.
10.
Every day,
Number
110%.
10.
So I know
For
that at the
sure.
end of the day, I did what I could do to excel. I mean, again, I'm like that as well. I want to push every day. What we talking about in this video is, for me, like I said, sometimes, man, that's that feeling of I'm pushing because I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. That's a tiring feeling, And I would. Here's what I would think. You tell me what you think on this. Here's what I would think. I would think a person like Warren Buffett is not pushing to make money. Like at 113 years old or however old he is, I'm pretty sure that at this point it's not about money. You know what I mean?
No.
If it was about money, he would stop long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't really see nothing wrong with pushing it to the max every day or
It's
being
about being
extremely
comfortable.
motivated and passionate about what you do every day. But I feel like if you're doing it because of fear, like it feels like I am sometimes, I can't lie. I feel like if you're doing it out of a need for money, that's
That's me.
difficult. But if you're doing it just out of, just because you're passionate about what you do, that's a whole nother space to be in right there.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts on that?
Well, right now, it's because we need money.
So,
But I do like what I do.
yeah.
I do like what I do.
See, if the motivation to go every day is has anything to do with money, I was listening to a guy talk one day in the barbershop when I was getting my hair cut. He was talking about how, he liked to work harder in the spring and the fall so that he can lay back in the winter. I didn't say anything to him, but what crossed my mind is that's why certain people will never get ahead too much. Because every time you get ahead, you take your foot off the gas. You
Right.
know what I mean? Every time you get ahead, you take your foot off the gas. You get ahead a little bit, and then you want to stop and smell the roses. Then you want to stop and
But
enjoy
but
the progress that
but
you
you
made.
but you gotta stop and smell the roses sometimes. Like you have to. Maybe not all the time. You gotta plan it out, but you got to. Because if not, then you do feel like I'm doing this for nothing. Like you gotta be able to at least enjoy a little bit of it. So you don't feel so burnt out. It's like, you know what, let me take a break, re-energize, and then get it again.
I think
You
it's
know?
easier to feel burnt out if your passion that is causing you to push every day is not based in the truth. If it's not based in what's good. What I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is, I think if your passion to push every day is based in fear or the need for money or the fear of uncertainty of what's going on, it's easier to burn out if that's where your motivation is coming from.
Well, you
But for
get
the
mental
people,
burnout. That's part of it.
I would say
Mental burnout gets the physical
I
burnout.
would say it's harder to get burnt out if you really love what you're doing. I could
Well,
be wrong about that. I
you
could
could
be
be
wrong
right.
about that.
You get tired, but you won't get burnt out
Yeah.
if you like what you're doing.
If you
If you
love
love
what
what
you're
you're doing.
doing.
Well, yeah. If
If
you
you
love what
love
you're
what
doing.
you're doing, like it's harder to get. I would imagine it's harder to feel that burnout. Let me see if, what comments we got here. Gamer Tech 72 says hungry because I'm 50 years old and I want to make the most I can before this all ends. We never know when that day is, but honestly, I like to live good. We all right, got you. Dewan Cole, it's beautiful how your wife used to drive trucks too. Good for bouncing around ideas. Absolutely. Mechanic 350, the bills keep pushing in between the lines. Uncertainty keeps us on our toes out of fear from failing. These are all excellent comments. Some stuff I want to get into. Mechanic
Sure.
350, they don't stop. Amethyst, I'm motivated because I am strong willed. I don't know if you've heard anyone say this, but I love to drive. It's my personal passion to travel and see what's out here. That's a very relevant point, Amethyst. I
That's why I
got
joined the military.
I got that on my notes. I'm gonna elaborate on that a little bit. Matt, definitely have to be hungry in our line of work, especially if you are working the load boards / spot market. Mike Law, hungry to be debt free.
Definitely.
I can appreciate all you
For
guys'
sure.
comments. Thank you for leaving those comments and engaging with us. I really appreciate that. This is good. If you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button. All right. Let me see. I got some other questions on here. I got some other follow up questions I got for you guys. Hmm?
What happens when nobody puts your cheese back?
I'm gonna get into that. Yeah, definitely.
We can talk about that one.
Yeah. All right. So for a second, I want to talk to. I want to talk about. I think for a second, I just want to talk to the people that are on the content side. For a second, I want to talk to those guys. I want to talk to the people that the truck drivers that are kind of like, obviously I want to push every day, but I just kind of take it how it comes. I ain't gonna let it stress me out too much. I can't control it, and I'm gonna make the best out of whatever comes my way. I'm not gonna stress out about it too much. That's not me. I mean, there's a part of it there because when you don't get the runs that you want, you can't do nothing but make the best of it. But I would definitely classify myself as one of those people that's, every day it's like, man, I feel
I'm
the
hungry.
yeah, I feel the fire breathing dragon breathing down my throat, and it's like, man, I got to get as much as I can today because
It's
I don't
not
know
me.
what's gonna happen. No, it's definitely not you, because I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Some people are not bothered by that uncertainty because they know that it's like, man, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna be okay, okay. But I want to talk to the more content trucker for a second, all right. And I'm thinking about a few truckers specifically that I know of, um, and I think the idea is to make sure that you're running enough. I think for a lot of truck drivers, that's the objective. Am I running enough? Regardless of if my week is short or not, or regardless of I'm not, if something changes or whatever, did I make enough today? Did I make enough this week? Am I running enough? And my thing about that is we don't really know what enough is, right? Like we all understand the world is uncertain. All of you guys that seem to be on the hungry side of things seem to understand that the world is uncertain. For the content truck driver, um, it's. I feel like it's hard for me to be on that side because again, knowing that we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, it's hard to feel like you're doing enough if you can tell the truth to yourself, which is I don't know what enough is. Like everybody think they got enough until they
Are they
don't.
content drivers?
Say it again.
Are they content drivers?
Yes.
What could be content
Yes. I would
now?
say I would say the content driver.
Cost of diesel fuel?
Here again, here's what I mean by content. I would say the content driver is the driver that's not stressed too much when he don't get the runs that he need or that the miles that he need. That's what I mean by that. Some of us are freaking out when we don't get the runs or the miles that we need. And some of us, when it don't happen, it's like, whatever. I know truck drivers that have opportunities to make more money, but for it might be dealing with a scenario where I know a truck driver. I'm thinking in my mind right now. Once he parks his truck, he ain't gonna move it again for the day. He's a get home every night truck driver, but sometimes his work is scattered like that, right? Like, he's going back and forth past his house or past where he parks his truck at all day. And I ain't talking about me either. Um, and like some of the customers that he worked with, he might be expecting a call around 10 and he might not get that call till 2 or 3, right? So he's prepared to make the run at 10, but he don't get the call. So he parks his truck. All right, I just won't make that run for the day. Then around 2, they call him. Yo, can you make this run? He's like, no. No, because I don't park my
You
truck
already got
already.
money in the
So
bank.
that's what I mean by a content trucker. They
Got
ain't
money in the
pressed.
bank.
And if it don't come, it's like, whatever, man. But then other truck drivers are not like that. Other truck drivers, to me, the hungry truck driver is the truck driver that is, I'm looking for the money. You got the money, I'm ready to go at all times. And I'm like that a lot of the times. I'm calling you and I'm like, yo, babe, you mind if I work at night? Why am I switching to work at night? Because it's money to be made at night. You get what I'm saying? So the hungry truck driver is the
You got bills
one.
to pay.
I would say again, the hungry truck driver is the truck driver that has to stay optimized. He's the driver that stays optimized. He stays ready to go. He stays ready to make money. He always looking for opportunities. And a lot of these guys are people that are here on this live. From their comments, it seems like a lot of us are on that side. When it's time to go, we gonna go. So a lot of us will fit onto that hungry side. But I know a lot of truck drivers that absolutely, I would say, are more on the content side. of things.
Let me ask you this question:
Go for it.
When you be when you be content if your house was paid for, you didn't have a,
Go ahead.
a like a any like pressing debts under your belt that you have to take care of, like
That
when you like before we moved here,
that's a good
like it
question.
was, it's easy to just like, nah, I'm gonna take a few days off.
That's a good question, and you're absolutely right. But here's what I said a second ago, and this is just my opinion. Warren Buffett is not pushing to pay bills. Like he's still pushing at 173 years old, or however old he is. He's still
So
pushing, right? But it's not money. Some people
that's
pushing for another reason. I think that's a point that I want to bring out on this live, right?
yeah, but his bills are paid.
That's the
Like
point. And he's still pushing. So the question you asked a second
so
ago
it
is,
don't
wouldn't you be
okay.
more content if your bills are paid? I would say that some
Okay,
people,
I
the
got you.
really successful, wealthy people, they still ain't content. And they bills been paid. In other words, they got a
Well,
deeper purpose for why they pushing. They push every day, just like a lot of us hungry truckers and a lot of us hungry workers, but it ain't really tied to money though.
well, I'm gonna tell you something like my grandma told me. She don't work anymore, but she just kept working just to keep from. She knows she's getting old, but to not feel like she's getting old, she just keep working. She had enough, spunk in her to keep working. She did, and then when they kept retiring her, letting her go, found another job just so she wouldn't have to sit at home. House paid for. You don't have much, not a lot of bills, but it's like, let me just get up and go. So I have some extra money, go take a trip or go travel to the Bahamas or do something.
Tyron Brown, glad to
Something
have you
extra.
here, boss. That's Zoe.
Oh,
Tyron
what
Brown.
up, Zoe?
Dathan Garrett, I feel the same way too. At my current job, I worked a lot of overtime, and when my paycheck isn't a certain amount,
Mm-hmm.
I'm dissatisfied. You still
Yes,
you still
I
want to maintain a
understand.
certain lifestyle. In between the lines, I have student loans. I don't want the government to garnish me. I stay motivated to be a black that can actually pay off debt from mistakes I made. It makes me better to run, run, run. I get that. Bow ties. There's a whole other hunger when you're an owner op too. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole other hunger when you're an owner in general, but definitely when you're an owner operator in trucking. Dathan Garrett, maybe it's your lifestyle, but sometimes it feels that you're living to work instead of working to live. If that makes sense, makes a lot of sense, Dathan. I appreciate that
Yes.
comment. Definitely, that makes a lot of sense. Hunter, sup, man? Good to see you. Hello to the pretty woman as well. Hunter says hello. I don't
Hey,
remember.
Hunter.
I don't remember Hunter's name, but Hunter was he's been on this channel several times before. I remember the eye. The eye looks really familiar.
Hunter.
Dathan Garrett, yes, loud and clear. Gotcha, Dathan. He's letting us know that my audio didn't break out. Hunter, I run 3,300 miles a week dedicated for Ford parts. I'll gladly take any day off I can get. Hunter, did
That's
your name
awesome.
used to be something else? If it did, let me know down in the comments. That eyes, in my mind, was another viewer. Anyway, Dewan Cole, like you said in another video, a content
That's
driver is a veteran truck driver to get the most calls. That's kind of going back to what I was saying. To me, that content driver, the driver that I was thinking about a minute ago when I said that, once he parked his truck, he ain't going back out. He's in he's a 30-year vet. He's been doing it for a while. He's been around for a minute. You know what I mean? And I would think at that point, you've adjusted enough to the game that it's like, you know, I'm just not going. I'm not going to be ready to go every time you call me. You can't do that. You know what I mean? I've heard the same person speak about them maybe getting a load to go into a heavily congested area like Virginia Beach, 3 o'clock on a Friday. You're like, I ain't
Nah, I
doing
ain't
that.
doing that.
Like, I ain't
Yeah,
doing
we're
that.
not
You know
doing
what I mean?
that.
I'm like, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? But again, to me, that driver leans more on the content side, and some people are more hungry, right?
Sometimes it's just being smarter.
By the way,
Could
look,
cost you more.
this is who the target audience is for this live. Okay, um, so I'm talking to people that feel like every day they got to get it as much as they can. I think I made that clear. But I'm also talking on this live, we're also talking to people that are pursuing their dream or people that are pursuing a passion. Okay. We're also talking to people that live above their means. Somebody commented, somebody said that in the comments just a few minutes ago. I feel like I feel like people that's pursuing a dream, they are people that would be on the hard worker side. They would be the person that's optimized to get as much as they can every day. I feel like people that live above their means, they're forced to be hungry, to live on that side. So I feel like that's the people that I'm talking to in this live as well. I'm also talking to people that they claim they love trucking. There's a lot of people out here that just they say they do it just because they love it. I just love trucking. I always question when people say that. Like, I think Amethyst said something about this earlier, and I'm the same way. I love to drive. And before I got a job as a driver, I asked myself, what is it that I really enjoy doing? What is it that I would do or be willing to do even if I wasn't getting paid for it? And drive is what came up. And then I went and found a driving job. So I really love driving. So much so that, you could say, they say that, you need to love it enough that you're willing to do it for free. And I just don't think that most people would be willing to drive for free. A lot of us say we love trucking, but a lot of us ain't willing to drive for free. And I ain't talking about just the truck. We all got to get paid. But I'm talking about if you one of those people that when you get out of the truck, like when it's like I'm getting out the truck and then, my wife got to come pick me up from the spot where I parked my truck and you don't even want to drive the vehicle, once you get out the truck, you know what I mean? Like you don't even want to drive home on the weekend, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to drive nowhere. Like you can't really say you love driving if that's you, you know what I mean? Like I just drive the truck. After I get out the truck, man, I don't want to drive nothing. Don't want to see no steering wheel. You can't really say you love driving if you're that individual. I'm kind of like Amethyst. I actually enjoy driving. So I'm speaking to people that claim that they love trucking. And I'm also speaking to people that are tired of feeling like they're in the rat race. I'm speaking to those people. So that's kind of spell out the audience that I'm talking to in this video, right? So let me see what other questions I got for you guys. Oh, here's a good question. This is something that a lot of you guys have alluded to so far in your comments. I'm gonna ask the question, then I'm gonna give you guys a chance to respond, and I'm gonna read through your comments that you already have. Is it a good thing to have to be hungry like that every day?
What, just
Okay, we're talking to the people that every day they okay with feeling like I gotta go get it every day. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, so I gotta be totally optimized today. Every day I gotta go and get it. Right? Again, I've already discussed it. Said that to me, that seems to gets tiring sometimes. Right? But the question is, should we be? I mean, I think about the lion. Like I gotta be ready to go every day. Like the lion on the days that he want to eat, he gotta be ready to go chase something down. Right? But he ain't got to do that every day. He don't have to do that every day. Right? Some days he get to just lay around and do nothing and just go around and just hit different females in the pride. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like he don't have to do that every single day. Someday the women in the pride, they go kill. The females in the pride, they go kill the meal. And he just come out of nowhere, all right, I'm just going to eat today. I ain't got to kill nothing, right? So he ain't got to be on it like
he
that.
got a good structure.
Every single day, right? So the question I want to know is from you guys that are here, is that good? Is that good? Is that good for us to have to be hungry like that every day? I think some comments that I got so far is, it does keep us on our toes, right? It keeps us going. It keeps us sharp. But is it good to have to operate from that space every day?
Here's a shoot off from that question. Are we the only country that does that?
That does what?
Have to work like that.
Well, again, keep in mind, not everybody that's pushing like that is pushing to get away from bills. Some people pushing like that because they're pursuing a passion, they're pursuing a dream, and they love what they do. But either way, is it good to be in that mode every day? I feel like here's what I feel. Here's what I feel. There are pros and cons to tunnel vision. Now, you need tunnel vision to get anything done. We know that.
Yeah.
But there's a side of me. I've been self-employed my whole adult life. So I understand having to be focused. I understand no worky, no eaty. So I got to pay attention. I got to work, right? But, the other side of that, it's like having tunnel vision stops you from seeing anything else. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the simplest way that I can
That's
see it.
funny.
Having tunnel vision meaning I can't see my family. I ain't paying attention to them. Right? There are people out here. I heard Beyonce say one time that, or I heard that she said one time that she didn't eat for 3 days because she was so involved in the creative process. She was in the studio. She forgot to eat for 3 days.
Dang, I'm feeling like that.
To me, that's the result. That's the flip side of tunnel vision. Gotta have tunnel vision to get stuff done. We understand it's important, but the flip side of tunnel vision is, sometimes you ain't taking care of your family. You might not be taking care of yourself. You might not be bathing. You might not be cutting your hair. You might not be doing nothing because you put my hat back on. Because but you know what this is all about? This is a result of tunnel vision. That's what this is. I'm paying
That's what I was
attention to
talking
so much other stuff that some of this other stuff ain't even important.
That's what I was talking to Maurice about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
My son. We were riding bicycles and he kept wanting to go ahead and go faster. And I was like, hold on, just watch out, cars behind. But he was so focused on getting to 7-Eleven so he can get his Sour Patch gummies. And I'm like, it's a car right there. Car to the left. Maurice, stay to the right.
Tunnel vision stops you from seeing that stuff.
Focus. It's a good attitude to have. Like, focus. You know where you got to go.
But there's a flip side to it.
But the flip side is, you're not seeing the stuff on the side.
Exactly.
You're not seeing. It could be some other opportunities there or dangers. Really.
Could be some other things going on around you that you need to be paying attention to.
Right.
And I think that's important. That's the reason. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this live. Like I said, I've been a self-employed individual almost my entire adult life. And so, while I understand the benefits of being self-employed, my whole adult life has been that feeling of not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. Right? I used to sell vacuum cleaners.
He was good at it too.
I was good at it. No different than I'm in trucking now and I got secure work. But I still feel like I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I was good at selling vacuums, and I still felt like I didn't know what was going to happen tomorrow. I've heard Grant Cardone talk on this before. He's like, if you're good at what you're doing, you ain't worried about what happened tomorrow. And I'm like, Seems to me that even if you're good at what you're doing, that feeling of uncertainty about tomorrow would still be there.
Part of that, creating what you want, though. That's part of that feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
should we be hungry every day? Let me know what y'all think about that down in the comments. Is that a good place to operate from? Yes, we know, the pros, and I got them right here, baby, if you want to see it. The pros of staying hungry every day, of being hungry every day, it keeps you sharp and it keeps you on the edge of opportunity. If you're the type of person that you're optimized for opportunity, meaning that I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so I stay in the mindset of I got to get as much as I can today. Opportunity will always come looking for you. Generally speaking, opportunity because you're ready to go. If we talk about just a load, your broker, your dispatcher, whoever, she ain't gonna keep calling the driver that keep turning down loads on Friday evening at 4:00. If they constantly got loads that got to go down to Virginia Beach at Friday at 4:00, and you keep turning them down, and another driver keeps accepting them, you get what I'm saying? So just being that hungry driver keeps you on the edge of opportunity. You identify more opportunities, but again, the con side of it is you don't see a lot of other stuff. People say all the time that trucking is a lifestyle. I would say for the hungry truck driver, it's a lifestyle for any of us. But if you're the type of person that you stay optimized because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, that means you're doing everything today to be ready. You're making sure you get enough sleep. You're making sure lunch is packed. You're making sure, everything that you do on a day-to-day is meant to optimize how much time you have to seek for your opportunity. And to me, at that point, trucking is definitely a lifestyle, meaning you optimize everything around driving the truck. You optimize everything around driving the truck. Now, again, some of us will say, yeah, that's necessary in trucking. But you're my wife. We all got spouses. We got children. We got health that we got to take care of. We got other things that we got to take care of. So again, I think one of the reasons why I wanted to do this live I'm on the side of the hard worker, definitely. But again, man, like tunnel vision, a lot of people that got tunnel vision is single. And they ain't got nothing soft to cuddle up with at night.
What
I'm
does
making her
that mean?
uncomfortable now. I'm making her uncomfortable when I start talking freaky like that. But a lot of people with tunnel vision, man, like I said, sometimes they don't get haircuts. Sometimes they don't take care of themselves. Sometimes they ain't paying attention to other stuff.
Yeah.
So, tunnel vision has to me, there's a pro and there's a con. Let me read through some of these comments. What? I'm down. I'm up too far?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Right here. I think about right here.
No, keep going.
Right here.
No, because they were responding as you were talking. But just keep going.
Okay, so where should I go to?
Right there.
Right here with Matt.
Yeah.
Matt, would you consider the guy with paid off equipment a somewhat content guy? Because he can turn down the low paying loads that the guy with the payments can't. That guy with payments would be hungrier. I mean, the guy that I'm thinking about in my mind when I was describing the content trucker earlier, he is a guy that has paid off equipment. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not necessarily talking. When he turns down a load, this guy that I was talking about earlier, he ain't turning it down because it don't pay enough. He turning it down because I don't park my truck already, and I ain't getting back in my truck for the day. I just ain't doing it. I don't. And watch this. Watch this. You know what stops him from getting back in his truck a lot of the times?
What?
If he don't already took out his fishing pole. No BS. Now some of us too hungry for that. We don't pull. We at the fishing hole and somebody call us with some money. We throwing the fishing pole in the back of the pickup truck and we going to get in the truck. Some of us, if the opportunity to make money at night comes up, and it's like, you know what? If I'm gonna run today and I'm gonna run tonight too. I did that. I say that all of the time. You know what I mean? Like if it's money I can go get at night. You know what I mean? So staying optimized. Staying optimized. But yeah, this guy that I'm thinking about, like I said, particularly if he don't pull out his fishing pole for the day, he's content enough. He ain't getting back in his truck, and some people don't operate like that. But it's not about whether the load pays low or not. He don't care what it pays. He ain't getting back in his truck, right? So, there's pros and cons to both sides. I want to make that known as well. I'm not necessarily saying that one way to be is better than the other way. Being hungry is better than being content. Like everything in trucking, there's pros and cons to both. Again, this video is just for information purposes. So appreciate the comment, Matt. Dwayne James, I watch all your trucking advice. Appreciate you, Dwayne. Absolutely. Dewan Cole, I love to drive too. I just never drove a big boy. Got you. Captain Corky, I would say that my primary goal, wanting to become a trucker, is to provide a better life for my family and to be as safe as possible so that I protect CDL. Amethyst, that's a pretty good question. I wonder what question she's talking about. What question that I posed is she talking about? What you think?
I don't know.
Is it good? I think that's probably what she's talking about.
Because Hunter next says.
Hunter says, I think it's a blessing and a curse. Good results, but most people can't relate to a sickening work ethic. I learned a sickening work ethic in Kirby, man, selling Kirby vacuum cleaners I got in Kirby when I was about 19 years old. And all before then, my work ethic was, a certain amount of hours, 4 or 5 hours a day, 5, 6, 8, maybe 10, 12 hours, maybe 10 hours a day. But in Kirby, man, that's when the concept of working from sun up to sundown was introduced to me in Kirby. Like we started in the morning, we had a morning meeting at 9 o'clock, and a lot of the times we didn't get home at night until 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? And then we'll get home, go to sleep, wake back up next morning, right back in the morning meeting at 9 o'clock.
I felt in the military.
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'll go to bed at 11 o'clock at night.
Dewan Cole, the end result for me is for people to drive my trucks while I drive too. Gotcha, Dewan. Okay. Amethyst, it's actually good and bad. Yeah, she's talking about, is it good to operate from that space every day? That's what she's talking about. The main part is, yes, it keeps us going, but the downside about it is you'll be wearing yourself down by constantly forcing the narrative of going to get it every day. Absolutely, I agree with you, Amethyst. And here's what I do. I don't know if any of you guys do this. Sometimes I overreact. sometimes I manufacture urgency. You know, Tony Robbins says we get done what we have to get done. So a lot of times it's about having that sense of urgency. And so sometimes if it's a thing that I know that I might not get done unless it's urgent, then I want to create a panic scenario in my own mind so that I can put the urgency there
So you can get it done.
so I can get it done. You know what I mean? So I can get it done, right? Yeah. So Dwayne James, I'm so hungry to be a truck driver. So yes, it's good to be in that mode. Dwayne James, that's good. But like I'm gonna get into this in just a little bit though. Make sure you don't ignore the important stuff. Being hungry, being focused, having tunnel vision is important, but make sure you don't forget the important stuff. In between the lines, you never take a day off from discipline. You're 100% right about
100,
that.
100.
You're 100% right about that. You shouldn't, right? Discipline got to be something that's baked into your SOP, your standard operating procedure. Jordan Toggle, I have an off-topic question. I'm a new CDL driver. Can you tell me if your trailer is overweight with actually? Can you tell if your trailer is overweight without actually weighing it? No. I would tell you, you got to stick around to the end of the live so I can get back to that because it's off topic, like you said, Jordan. But that's a quick one. No. The only way you can tell is if you wait. That's what I would say. Sometimes you can feel it, but no. Gamer Tech 72. I think it is because if we were out here doing this every day, we might as well make the best of it. I like to be productive. Tyron Brown, we were good. Best life lessons. He talking about Kirby. Hunter, as the old men say, make hay while the sun shines. I ain't never heard that one before, Hunter. I ain't never heard that one before. Dewan Cole, ease up on that soda, bro. People like us who don't eat meat, it can affect us later. Tyron Brown, my load was canceled for today, but I took a BS load just to keep my gross going up. Got you. AJ Trucker, Dime Lou. I don't know what that means. Dewan Cole, and he knows he's going to get a next call tomorrow. Tyler Bentz, does having an automatic restriction make you less of a driver than a manual driver? All right.
He probably meant dime boo. He's looking at me.
Oh. Yo, you know what? Do me a favor, real quick. Let people know. Let people know.
Let me get to it.
1 second, family. Let people know.
Cash it. Let me go for me.
They go right there. So real quick, family, we got a couple more things we're going to go over. I got a couple more questions for y'all. I hope y'all enjoying the engagement and our interaction. If you haven't already, be sure you smash the like button. For those of you that are regulars here, I appreciate your support, definitely. Zoe, appreciate you being here, big homie. That's Tyron Brown that y'all see down in the comments. That's my homie down there. But real quick, I got to let y'all know, some of y'all are commenting on my wife's shirt or my shirt. I don't even know how y'all even see the shirts because they're not even showing. But, the shirts are available for sale. They're not $5. Somebody said that earlier. No way in hell. They're not $5. But my wife's going to drop the link in the comments, in the chat right now, and she's going to pin it to both of our shirts. And if you want to, we got a Teespring campaign set up. You can go and grab you one of these shirts right here that I got on. It comes in sweatshirt and hoodie. It says, I stay thinking about where I'm heading. It's a play on words. As truck drivers, obviously we got to stay focused on where we're heading. But as successful trip planners, we got to stay focused on where we're heading. As head of household, we got to stay focused on where we're heading. As responsible adults, we got to stay focused on where we're heading. So it's a play on words. But my wife is going to put the link up to my shirt. It comes in long sleeve and hoodie and zip hoodie. You can grab either one of those. And she will also put up the link to her shirt. Can you see her shirt? Yeah. So if you're one of the ladies that are here, you can grab you up one of these shirts. Maybe we need to change. That's interesting. I might need to change the words because it might be a single woman on here. She might not want to put best trucking wife ever. Like, I ain't no wife. Might have to change up the words on that. But fellas, hey, you can grab your wife up. If you out, somebody said they was out at the dock right now for 3 hours. If your lady waiting on you to be at home and wishing you was home right now, you can grab her up one of these shirts. Let her know you appreciate her, right? You can have it shipped right to the house. She can get that. The shirt can be there before you get back. Right? And also, so we got the shirts that you can grab up. You can definitely check out the link. But also, we got a GoFundMe as well. I've let some of you guys know if you're following my content, you know we're looking to open a CDL school right now. It's going to be an expensive endeavor, so we started a GoFundMe to help raise capital. And my wife is going to put the link to that in the comments as well. But definitely go over and grab you up a shirt. We need the support. Go over to the GoFundMe campaign if you're feeling charitable, and send us a few dollars. If you do, while we're here and we see, you can leave us a message on the GoFundMe campaign as well. So, like if you got a message or something, we'll read your message that you send us on the GoFundMe campaign. But, all of the money that goes into the campaign is going to go towards us opening up a CDL school. We would love to open up a CDL school and start helping drivers. Like, there's so many people on YouTube that have said that, I've helped them get started in trucking one way or the other. So it's like, well, let's see if we can take this offline and make it into something a little bit more real, So I would appreciate you guys' support. Go visit the GoFundMe, or feel free to go and grab you up one of these shirts that we got on right here. Now once you do this. Oh, you already pinned it. Yeah. Oh, well, you could have posted them all together as one message.
Oh, all right.
Try that. Just do that, and then post that in the chat, and then pin it, and then remove the other pin. Right, like you could, yeah.
So go back.
It's all good. All right, family. All right, family. So let's get back to the to the questions here. All right, because again, we just engaging. Got it? You can grab up all of them if you want to.
This again.
All right, so boom. Let's talk about getting around that feeling of anxiety. Let's talk about dealing with the uncertainty of tomorrow. All right. Again, there's some people that can deal with that, and there are some people that need a little bit of help going through that. I'm not going to offer you any help going through that, but I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to give you some stuff to think about. I've realized that that's my strong point in life, asking questions. All right. I've had a lot of people let me know that. So I got some things for you guys to ponder on. Okay. Again, we understand that it's about. Say again. Well, however you need to do it. You do it however you need to do it. But I was hoping they could go all together. You could just pin them all as one comment.
Commented in between it.
All right, you got it. They're in the comments. All the links are in the comments. They're there. No big deal. All good. Good job, babe. My wife don't really be knowing how to do technical stuff like that. Like use YouTube and stuff. She know how to create a LLC. She know how to do that. But she have a problem sometimes, fixing the comments and stuff on YouTube, right?
I'm learning all this stuff. This is new, man. This stuff started to come out like after I graduated high school. I was back in 2001. And everybody's class behind me got computers in school, and I was walking around with a rolling book bag.
I think this conversation would have been totally different before COVID. I think that wake-up call forced a lot of content truckers to become hungrier. That's a good point, man. I definitely see COVID as a shifting point. COVID is like what's the term I'm looking for? When something
Paradigm shift.
That too, yeah. But it's like a how certain events are big enough that I might be using the wrong time, but they mark time. Certain events are big enough that they actually mark time. You measure time by them, right?
Yeah.
Like things were this way before this event, and things were this way after that event. You know what I mean? Like the birth of Jesus. That's how people that marked time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
COVID definitely marked time.
Sure.
Like the things were this way before, and things were this way afterwards. So that's definitely a good point. That joint changed a lot of stuff, man. I say we still dealing with the remnants of that. I absolutely would.
We're going to keep dealing with the remnants of it.
Dewan Cole says, I would come to your school. I've learned a lot from you already. There it is.
If you worked in the government, you know what I'm talking about.
Tyron Brown says, anxiety. What does that mean? WHTS. What's that?
I guess.
Anxiety. What's that? I think he's being sarcastic. Landon Farino, paradigm shift, medical tyranny. All right, boom. So
Like I
yeah,
said,
I got some stuff I want you guys to
like
think
I
about.
said,
Okay, let's get back to the subject matter. Okay, um, things to ponder on. How are you with budgeting? I think if you're not good at budgeting, it's gonna keep you in a place of being fearful
because you feel like you
about
don't
the
have enough.
uncertainty. Yeah, because you're gonna always feel like you don't have enough if you're not good at budgeting. And when I say good at budgeting, I know people that save money when they ain't making none.
Because they built the habit.
Man, that's hard. I ain't never been able. I'm pretty good at saving money when I'm making some, but I know of people that can save money when they not making any, and I ain't never been able to figure that one out right there.
It's because a lot of times people spend money on things they don't necessarily need to have, like going to the store and they have all that stuff sitting in the front waiting for you to grab. It's like the little stuff that slips away from you. You realize you don't have it, and if you take that little bit, the few dollars that slip away from you, if you just put that like, hey, I want to buy this candy bar. You don't really need it, but you just saw it. And because you saw it, you want it. If you take that dollar or two that you would have spent on that candy bar and just stick it in a jar or envelope or whatever, out of your sight over time, like you do save money. Realize that you actually have a lot more than what you thought you had, because that's what budgeting is.
Yeah,
Just knowing where every dollar is and where it's going, and if you have a little bit left over to spend,
yeah. Amethyst
you know.
says right now I'm actually trying to train myself with budgeting, but it's extremely hard. It absolutely is.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Because some things you're gonna have to like. I don't say give up. You got to figure out what you absolutely have to have, and then also you got to make room for put a little bit of it's an entertainment dollars to the side. Something I did where he didn't. He learned when we got together. I used to stick stuff in envelopes, entertainment money, gas money, different bills. I just stuck them in envelopes just to keep them out of my hands. So when I wanted to go to the movies or something, I grab my entertainment envelope. Hey, I got $50. We can go to the movies. But I learned that habit from like a young age because I wasn't part of a big family, and my parents said, "You want to go to college? Find the money, or if you want to go somewhere, go get a job." So that's what I did.
So if you wanna, so I guess in my opinion, based on what you're saying and what we're talking about right now, again, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with being in the position or being hungry and ready to
Oh
push
no,
every single day. But
definitely not.
again, that that's not permission to not budget. Like I'm going to make plenty of money today, so I can spend plenty of money tonight or
And then
tomorrow.
tomorrow you don't get the load that you want. And it's like,
Exactly.
dang it, man. And you spend the
Exactly.
money you thought you
Exactly.
were gonna have.
Exactly. It's the same.
That's
It's the same thing as
that's
I didn't make the
living on
money.
money.
Why didn't I work harder yesterday? It's the same thing when you say, "Well, damn, why did I spend that money that I shouldn't have spent?" You get what I'm saying? And it's
It's habits.
yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah. So
habits.
if you want to get away from, or if you want, so to successfully deal with the feeling of the uncertainty of tomorrow, you need to be good at budgeting. You need to know where your money is going. Okay, because that's what a budget is. It's
Where
your
every
way
dollar
of
goes.
keeping track of what's coming in and what's going out. If you can't keep track of money, the more money you make, if you can't keep track of it,
It's gonna slip away from
yeah,
you.
it's just gonna slip away faster. Right?
Yeah,
You're gonna make it
because
faster, it's gonna
'cause you
slip away
feel like
faster.
you got a lot more, and if you train yourself to be humble, with when you get an increase, you can actually have a lot more later. It's like take care of some bills, take care of some debts, but live meager. Live humble
And we're gonna
for a
get into
little
that.
while.
Remember, I said one of the people that I'm talking to on here is people that live above their means. So now, Matt, I see you just retracted your comment, man. I was about to read it out that you sent something to the Cash App. I need to go check it and see, right?
Cash App?
But if you did, Matt, yeah, he just I said I sent you something for the school. If you did, man, I really appreciate that. But I see it say message retracted now, so I don't know if that means he took it back or what. I don't know. Amethyst, right now. Either way, Matt, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate your support. Amethyst, right now, I'm actually trying to train myself with budgeting. Great streak, numbers are everything. D Money, appreciate you being here in Boise, Idaho. Absolutely, appreciate you being here. All right, so like not budgeting is this it's very similar to passing up money from the previous day. Like I'm uncertain about what's gonna happen tomorrow. So when tomorrow comes, damn, why didn't I run harder yesterday, or why didn't I do something different yesterday, or why did I spend that extra money yesterday? Budgeting. But here's another thing: do you guys have other sources of income? Put a one in the chat right now if you're not reliant upon trucking to pay your bills. And I'll be the first one. I am relying on trucking. I don't want to make nobody feel bad that is. I'm relying on trucking to pay my bills. But I want you to put a one in the chat right now if you are not reliant on trucking to pay your bills. Because again, that helps you get rid of that uneasiness that comes along with not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. That'll help you to get rid of that as well. And I guess this kind of goes back to a video that I want to make, which is or I want to talk a little bit more about, how you should approach trucking, which is the thumbnail of this video. But one thing that I want to point out on that subject of how drivers should approach trucking, I think it's dangerous to put all your eggs in one basket. I think trucking is volatile enough that you need to have other things that you're planting seeds in. And for the longest time, trucking wasn't that type of profession. You could just approach it and just do trucking. I mean, you can now still too, but I wouldn't recommend that a person approach trucking from that way. I actually wouldn't recommend that a person approach anything from that way, not just trucking. The whole world that we live in right now is volatile enough that I don't care how secure you believe your job is, you need to have something that you're doing and growing and building on the side, right? So
2020 COVID.
right, getting rid of that feeling of anxiety that comes from not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, right? Being able to budget and having other sources of income can help you with that. I know that if the something unexpected happens tomorrow and it messes up my money, or next week or next month, I'm not totally dependent on trucking to pay my bills. It's okay to be hungry. I'm not saying don't be hungry. I'm not saying get rid of your hunger. Be hungry, but have something else as well. Because sometimes in trucking, you can't do nothing about the thing that's slowing you down. Sometimes you can't do nothing about it. And again, if you got a family, if you got other things in your life that you need to take care of, to me, it's only a certain amount of time that you can stay in that place of tunnel vision. If I'm gonna be optimized to go and get this money whenever it comes. Like if you got a family and you got health that you need to pay attention to, you got loved ones, you got children at home, you got other stuff that needs to, a parent or something like that at home that you need to take care of. You might be able to be in that mode now, but how long can you stay in that mode? Right? When you come in and you get started in the profession, it's one thing to be in that place, but you want to get yourself out of that position as soon as possible. So that's kind of what we're talking about right now, okay? How are you with handling your money? You talked about this a minute ago. How are you overall with handling your money? Did I get a one in the comments? D Money says one. DoorDash. Crypto CDL a full time. Now watch this, D Money. That's good that you got other stuff going on. The crypto is cool, but DoorDash, that's fine. But I mean, when I say other ways of making money, DoorDash is another way of making money. But I really am talking about things that don't necessarily require time, right? Well, let me not say it that way. Let me say it this way. Selling your time. We want to get to a place where our money is not necessarily tied to how much time we work. That's what I'm trying to say. We want to get to a place where how much money we make is not tied to how many hours that we're putting in. Am I confused? Does that make any sense? Or I think I'm confusing people.
No. And
Right?
Gary Streak says, yes, residual income. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I can make good money driving the truck, but how much money I make driving the truck is tied to time. You know what I mean? And DoorDash is the same thing. It's tied to time. So we want to get to a place where the money that we're making is not necessarily it's based on something else other than time. That's when your income is capped. Why? Because there's only so many hours in a day. Okay? So if we can get away from making money that's tied to time, now it don't matter how many hours is in a day. All right? So
Right.
I hope that makes sense to you guys. So how are you with handling your money? Okay? Are you a consumer or are you an investor? Are you a producer? Okay? Do you understand how money works? This is again to me one of those things that can keep you from being too stressed out about the uncertainty that's out in our environment nowadays. If all you do is take the money that you make and buy consumer items, that means you're not putting your money to work for you. That means you are the only source of your income. When ideally, you want to take a portion of the money that you make and put it to work. That's what I mean. So, are you a consumer when it comes to most of your dollars, or are you a producer? An investor. An investor is a producer. An investor is somebody that's going to take that money and put it somewhere where it can produce, where it can bring a return. And if you're a consumer, it's going to keep you in that place of being fearful about what's going to happen tomorrow. If you're a producer slash investor, then you understand that everything that I earn is not mine to spend and to consume. Some of it is to go back and plant seeds with my money. I can't just go right down to their comment.
Yeah, because that's what we're talking about.
In
And
between the lines, budgeting gets better with time and consistency. Always put away an emergency fund, rainy day. Anxiety comes from being cautious with the decisions we make. God said we all have to be careful. Well, I hope you're not saying that being careful is the same thing as anxiety. In between the lines, we should definitely be careful, but I don't know. I don't know about the anxiety part. I don't think that's what you're saying, but I hope that's not what you're saying. Armando Bailey, thank you very much. I learned how to float my gear just by watching your video. I'm now a licensed truck driver. You're great. I'm now looking for a job. Big up to you, my second teacher. That is you. Appreciate the love, Armando. Dewan Cole, you're right. I work for the family business. I hustle plus receive rent from my tenants. My most money comes from tenants. It was an old investment. It's best to not put all your eggs in one basket. I feel like there's a lot of people in trucking nowadays that still try to approach it the way that it used to be. And I feel like, I'm the son of a lifelong truck driver. My dad, once he drove a truck, he never really had to do anything else. He didn't come home in the evening and get online and start talking to people and trying to make money online. And he didn't do all that stuff. You know what I mean? He didn't do all that. He didn't have to. But, like I said, it seems like now that would be my advice to anybody that's getting into anything, not just trucking. Like you need to have something on the side that you're growing as well. Captain Corky, my wife is starting a new career as a tattoo artist to provide a second income while I'm on the road trucking. This way we won't have to solely rely on my income since I will be new. That's great. That's good. Take some of the stress off of you. Take some of the anxiety off of the feeling of, well, I don't necessarily know what's going to happen tomorrow. That helps that out a whole lot, having other sources of income. Matt, gems are being dropped right now. I hope y'all are picking them up. Absolutely. Matt is right. Y'all listen to Matt. Back to the money subject. How are you handling your money? If you ain't handling your money the right way, that feeling of anxiety towards the uncertainty of tomorrow is always going to be there. I think we need to understand that you got to keep money flowing as a self-employed individual, and it may be this way with anybody. If money is sitting still, it's being taxed. Money that's sitting still is not growing. It's not doing anything. Okay? Money is a tool. This is the way that I see it. I don't know if my wife agrees with this. Not. You can tell me right now if you don't. Money is a tool, just like a hammer. And a hammer is no
Yes.
good to us if it's just laying in the tool drawer, if it's just laying in the toolbox. A hammer is only valuable to us
Want to use it?
when we're using it. When we're not using a hammer, the only value it provides to us is the peace of mind of knowing when I need a hammer, I have one. I look at money very similarly. That's the only value it provides when it's just sitting in our bank account. I know it's there when I need it. But just like the hammer, it's no good if it's just sitting there. Its real value comes from being used. If you don't understand that, you're probably a hoarder when it comes to money. And if you're a hoarder when it comes to money, you're probably somebody that's always going to be dealing with that anxiety, the anxiety of the uncertainty of tomorrow, right? I would say that money is grease. That's what I mean by, are you a consumer or are you a producer slash investor? Money is the grease. Money is the thing that can accelerate what it is that you're trying to do. Many of us don't see money that way. You know, here let me I want to here's what I mean by that. I was listening to a marketing podcast today that made a whole lot of sense. And this guy was talking on there about he was talking on there about his mastermind and how much he charged. His mastermind is $25,000 to attend. He said the biggest issue that he had with setting that mastermind up and asking for that amount, his biggest issue was he had never done what he was going to be asking other people to do. So to set his mastermind up, he was going to be asking people to give him 25,000. He had never gave nobody else 25,000 to be a part of their mastermind. So he was at a mental conflict because of that. Here's how he solved it. He went and paid somebody 50,000 to be in their mastermind. And that unlocked the place in his brain for him to be okay with asking for 25,000 from other people. A lot of people don't look at money that way. A lot of people here in the YouTube community are looking, and I'm not necessarily saying you guys, I don't want nobody to take offense to this, but it might be you. If the shoe fit, wear it. But a lot of people online are looking for free information. They don't understand that money is the accelerator. Money is the grease. They don't understand that it might be better to pay somebody to receive the information that you're looking for. Right? Now, I'm not saying that anything is
Right person.
exactly, absolutely. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with looking for free information. But I am saying that you ain't never gonna be certain people are not willing to pay for information. And that's why the rich get richer. Because they do understand that money is the grease. I was listening to another podcast earlier in the week where the young lady was saying that she uses her money to come to the attention of certain people. So she knows that to just show up, she might not ever get, and I'm speaking generally here, she might not ever get noticed in the crowd. But she know that if she pay for that VIP seat, that might be 25 grand, but it gets you on the front row, she know that the people on, now she gonna get seen. Now she can get exposed to something different. And who knows how that $25,000 investment could come back. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like once you own the connection, you know, that return can continue to come. Once you get the knowledge, like if you're willing to pay for knowledge, like
sometimes you can get that return on the investment.
And you can get it for a long time because once you own the knowledge, guess what? Can't nobody take it from you.
Right.
Right? Poor people don't understand that. I'm not saying that anybody on this live stream, I believe, is poor. I'm just saying that poor people don't understand that money is grease. You know? I mentioned something on my community feed here on YouTube a while ago about starting a group, right? Because I believe that one of the things that truck drivers need desperately when they first come in the industry is a network, a support group. Exactly, they need a support group, especially if it not. Now, I'm not talking about a truck driver like me that got family around them that drive trucks. A lot of these guys are getting in truck and they don't have family around them. They need that support group. And I was asking about it on my community feed section. And one guy is like, Why would you charge for that? Another guy is like, sounds like a money grab to me, you know? But it's like, man, if you want somebody's time and you ain't willing to pay them for it, you just looking for free, to me, you just don't understand money and how it works, right? So from the way I see it, money is grease, and it doesn't really do us any good if it's not being used. It's the lubricant, okay? It's the thing that help things to run, that can potentially help things to run smoother, right? So you got to save money for a rainy day, absolutely, but you also want to be planting seeds with your money. You want to be investing with your money. You want to be using your money to get in front of the right people. You want to be using your money to get the right information. These are things that spending your money on is absolutely worth it. Because once you get the contact, you got it. Once you get introduced to the plug, you got it. Once you got the knowledge, you got it. And you can go sell that over and 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 over again. So it's almost like saying, don't even matter how much you got to pay to get into the room. It almost don't even matter how much you got to pay to get exposed, because the return on that investment could come back, 10, 100-fold possibly. You got anything you want to add to that?
I know somebody paid 35 grand
To get into a mastermind, to get around the people. But then you got other people that's like, nah, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, you're gonna stay broke then. Like, what is it worth to get in the room?
Like, man, 35 grand to get in the room with a person that's a billionaire. Like,
Exactly.
talk to him face to face.
Exactly. You could spend your whole life searching around on YouTube trying to find what that man could give you in an hour session. Right?
Essentially tell you how to make that billion. That's what you want.
Yeah.
What you want.
So we're not soliciting business or anything. We just saying that, poor people have to adjust their attitude towards money, right? A lot of us, when it comes to money, we holding on to it with everything we got. But if I'm holding on to money, can't nobody put nothing in my hand either. Nothing coming out, but can't nobody put nothing in there either. When I open my hand, things can come out, but things can, it's flow. It's keeping it flowing. It's understanding that. Let me read through a few of these comments. I got off on a rant for a few minutes. Oh, sorry, arm. Reaching for the sledgehammer, but keep getting the ball.
The ball pen.
Ball pen. What's he mean by that?
Pen. Ballpoint pen.
Okay. But he reaching for the sledgehammer.
Right.
Landon Farino, I'm a hoarder. I keep 30% of my gross. You make a lot of sense, man. Hey!
Yeah.
What you gonna say? Great streak, financial aptitude. In between the lines, I'm proud to pay the information I learned from. I invested $4,000 for school, and it worked. It's almost like I should have the $4,000 to you, the helpful trucker. Yeah, absolutely. Send 4Gs to the GoFundMe right now. I would most certainly appreciate that, right? But that's the same subject of getting your CDL. That's relevant to this as well. A lot of people, again, I don't want to slight anybody, but a lot of people put too much emphasis on free CDL training. Like how much money I've made driving a truck, and how long ago I got my CDL.
Right.
Is it relevant how much I paid to get my CDL?
No, because you made it back.
Like, I paid $5 grand to get my CDL. Would it have mattered at this point if I had to pay 10 to get my CDL 7 years ago?
No.
At this point, it wouldn't have mattered.
On that note, I didn't have to pay because the military trained me, so I got paid to learn to drive.
That's good too. That's good too.
Hand up, sorry.
Again, I don't want to slight anybody that goes the free route.
Way to go.
I'm just making the point though. It ain't that big of a deal, because the money that you make, that you spend to get your CDL, like, it ain't right now, 7 years later, it's not even relevant whether I got my CDL for free, whether I paid $5 grand for it, or whether I paid 10 grand for it. It's just irrelevant. I've made, and I'm not like, as I'm rolling it, that's not what I'm saying. I've made so much money that 0, 5, 10, it don't matter, man. It didn't matter. It don't matter. So it's like, if you're one of those people that
spent that much nothing.
Exactly right. You're exactly right. But if you're one of those people that you're a consumer when it comes to spending your money, you're not a producer, you're not an investor, I would say you got to get that in check. I would absolutely say you got to get that in check, because it's going to keep you're going to stay in a place of being fearful and feeling anxiety at the uncertainty of tomorrow. because you're not putting your money to work for you, and you're putting all your eggs in the basket of being able to produce enough money in the truck. Okay? Unnecessary pressure. Wow, here's another question to think about. What's the cost of your lifestyle in comparison to your income? Well, I think somebody mentioned that earlier as well, right? Living above your means.
Yep.
Some of us are addicted to that, to living above your means, which contributes to that feeling of anxiety and uncertainty about tomorrow, right? You got to find a way to live below your means. Either you got to make more, or you got to spend less. Real simple, right? Numbers don't lie.
And you can still live a good life.
Here's something I want to ask y'all about. I think it's relevant to this subject as well. And I'm about to wind this down in just a few minutes. I appreciate all you guys being here. Do me a favor real quick. Check the Cash App. And if anybody put anything in there and left a message, if they left a message, let me know because I want to shout them out.
How'd you know?
Just click right over to it right there, probably. Yeah.
Like, you laugh, you'll see you say zero.
Right.
It was like, thank you.
No, here's what I was laughing at. You know, every one of these lives that we do it's my GoFundMe link that I'm sharing, right?
Not mine.
No, it's not your GoFundMe link that we
No.
sharing in the lives here. Just
But
letting
both
you
of
know.
them in there. Mine
No,
is-
they're not.
it's not.
No, you ain't sharing your link on it. It's always my link that we shared on the lives.
Okay.
So when we got this GoFundMe campaign going on,
That's all right.
we're both, and my daughter as well. We're both joined the campaign, obviously. So we got the campaign, we got a general campaign link. But then when you join the campaign, like we have, because we're promoting the campaign and my daughter, all three of us have different links. So that GoPro can track donations coming from that link. So it can show, they can keep up with who's raising money. So I was just letting my wife know just now that all of these links that get dropped in the comments of my lives, this is my link. This ain't her link. That's what I'm telling her. That's what I'm telling her just now. It's my link, not hers. You gotta find somewhere to put your link at too. You should be able to put it right here on this channel, right?
Yes.
Read through a few of these comments. Jordan Tuggle, CDL school is a good investment. I would agree. Changed my life, and I'm new. In between the lines, you're the best. Investments of my life in trucking homage came from you. I still feel like I didn't do it all on my own. It truly was an investment. I stay out on the road longer to avoid spending money. Got you in between the lines. Jason Blackwell, really appreciate this and enjoy your take on the investment of getting a CDL. Money is grease. I'm leaving my corporate job. Actually, today was my last day. Start CDL school next month. Damn, Jason.
Big up, Jason. Wait,
I mean, it's
What
all
I do?
good, but it wasn't a way that you could have kept your job while you got your CDL. Maybe went to school on the weekends. You couldn't have done that, Jason.
Nah.
Say what?
Nah, you've been in corporate America
So
long
he ready
enough.
to go.
You ready
He
to
might have his ducks in a row. You know what I mean? He might have his ducks in a row, right? So yeah, something I want to ask you guys about. One more thing I want to ask you guys about that's relevant to this subject. Dealing, and I'm gonna keep taking my hat off. This is me, okay? I can get a haircut whenever, but I just ain't worried about it.
Love you.
Tunnel vision.
I still love you.
I don't even see. I need a haircut. Tunnel vision, yo.
I'll just break
Gotta
it
cut
up
that out.
later.
It ain't gonna get that long, baby. It ain't gonna get that long. I promise you, I ain't gonna let it get that long. So, dealing with the solitude of trucking, a lot of people, I won't say complain about it, but talk about it as if it's a thing. I think it's relevant to this discussion because a lot of times,
Tag team, then you won't feel lonely.
okay, all right, I wasn't gonna say that.
Saying.
I was gonna say, basically, I was going to the point of using your time constructively while you're out on the road. Okay. Obviously you can call and talk to friends, and you can, when you're bumped at a dock at the truck stop, you can, surf the web and, look at girls, webcams online, because I hear truck drivers doing that. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff that you could do that truck drivers do. But I'm wondering, what do you guys do? What are you guys doing that's productive? What seeds are you planting when you're out on the truck? Like when I'm out on the truck, if I'm driving, I'm usually listening to something that's motivating me or educating me. I know most of you guys are probably going to say that's what you do. But I'm either learning something that's so like today, I watched a video today, wasn't but a 10-minute video, but I've been needing to do this for a while. I learned today how simple it was to index my WordPress website, to index my website with Google. So whenever you got a website or whenever you create a post on your website, it needs to be indexed in the Google Search Console. Basically, you got to let Google know that this website exists, or you got to let Google know that you've created a new blog post. That's called indexing your website or indexing your post. So right now, the Helpful Trucker, MT Bay Trucking, Helpful CDL Training, and what's my fourth one? Whatever it is. I can't think of it right now. But right now, none of that stuff, you can pull it up if you just type in the word. But if you just type, it's not, it's
not
hard to show
optimized.
up in search because they're not indexed. None of those websites are indexed, right? But I typed in a search today on YouTube how to index my WordPress website on Google. 5-minute process. 5-minute process. So that's just an example. Like, what are you guys doing? How are you using your time? How are you taking advantage of the solitude that you get on the road? You just talking to friends? Is that all you doing? You just calling and talking to different women in different cities? Right? Is that all you doing? There's nothing wrong with doing that stuff because you need to feed that side as well. But are you guys doing things constructive out on the road? Are you reading books when you backed into a dock? Are you going to bookstores when you see one? Do you have books on the road in your truck with you? You need food in your truck. You need a change of clothes in your truck. Some of y'all got TVs and internet in your truck, right? Do you have
E-readers.
books in your truck? Are you reading books when you got a chance to? Jordan says, I actually enjoyed the solitude. We all enjoy the solitude. I know I do. I know I enjoy the solitude of being on the road. Just got time to think and learn, right? And mastermind and plan and figure out and structure things, right? But like using that downtime, I exercise and read. That's great in between the lines. Using that downtime wisely is important. A year's gonna go by in trucking. 2 years gonna go by. 3 years gonna go by. 5 years gonna go by. Pretty soon, enough time gonna have gone by that, like at this point, I'm not big on working out. I should be, but I'm not big on working out. But like 5 years of exercising in your truck every day and reading when you do it is gonna have an effect. Just like 5 years of not exercising every day is gonna have an effect. You get what I'm saying? So it's like using the downtime. You guys that are OTR, if any of you are here, maybe no OTR people are here, but even you guys that are regional that stay out for a week at a time or whatever. When I get out of the truck as a get home every night truck driver, I'm normally out in my truck for 10, 11, 12 hours a day. And then when I'm not in my truck, I have to take care of everything else that I got to take care of. Any responsibilities around the house, any time for me, my babies, my children. I love to spend time with them. And obviously, I want to have time for me and my baby to cuddle, me and my wife to be able to cuddle as well. And I got to sleep, hopefully for at least 8 hours. I'm in the truck for 12. I need to sleep for 8. That don't leave but 4 more. A lot of stuff. But you guys that are, when you're shutting down, you're in the truck, you're at a truck stop, you got 12 hours almost. And okay, call, like make the important phone calls, you know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do. But man, you got a lot of time in there over the years to squeeze in another skill set, to learn something new, right? It's so many things that you could be doing to take advantage of that downtime. So make sure you're taking advantage of that downtime. Just let me just say it that way. Make sure you're taking advantage of that. Again, I think this is relevant in the discussion of avoiding the anxiety that comes along with knowing that what's going to happen tomorrow in trucking ain't certain. It's not certain. I think this is relevant in that discussion because if you out on the road for 2, 3, 4 years, like it's okay to come in trucking in that position, but after a few years, you
Should
should
be further along.
you could be further along. You absolutely could be further along.
Invest in some other skill sets. That'll either help you in trucking or to do something else later.
But not if you ain't using that downtime wisely.
Oh no.
Not if you're not doing using that downtime wisely. Jordan Toggle, people don't understand that. In between lines, I watch your old videos on becoming an owner operator over and over. If you got any ideas on videos you'd like to see
Learning
in
the
relationship
language.
to being or in relative to being an owner operator, feel free to let me know that as well in between the lines. Jason Blackwell, I'm looking forward to the solitude. I read a lot, meditate, enjoy audiobooks and podcasts. My wife has been telling me for years it'll be my on Cole. I would probably be like you, missing my baby and listening to podcasts in between. I mean, how could you not miss that cute little face right there?
Oh my gosh. Listen.
In between the lines, frees up your mind by reading exercises, keeps you strong as you can handle the cold weather a lot better. I learned. Great streak. Learning another language is an option. Huge.
Yes.
Huge. Absolutely. You know how many dividends that could pay? You take 3 years of being on the road and now you fluent in Spanish or some Asian language. You know the
Arabic
country
or
being taken over
Japanese or
by China
Chinese.
anyway. Strike that from the records. But like taking a few years and learning how to speak Chinese or Japanese or Indian or Spanish or some of these other popular nationalities in the United States, man, like whatever you can do now, you can double
Like
up
a
on it because you can speak two languages now. Powerful, absolutely. Jordan Tuggle, you definitely think on a different level while OTR. I bet. Duane Cole, that's what I do now. In between the
that's what's up.
lines, reading on the road is like another adventure. I saw a driver come past me the other day reading while he was driving.
That's a little
I'm like, what
dangerous.
in the hell?
Put that journal on e-reader.
Jason Blackwell, great idea, Gray Street. Learning another language, he's saying.
Yeah.
Jordan Tuggle, making music and reading is my hobby. Great hobby.
Okay.
Good hobbies, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, there's some big ideas that I want the listeners to come away from with this video. And by the way, let me say real quick, this video, like all of my lives, will be public on the channel for no more than 1 day after we end this live at the most. Might not be a full 1 day. So if you got here in the middle of the broadcast and you want to go back and see it, be sure you do that as soon as possible because it won't be here public any more than the next 24 hours. Again, I might not leave it up 24 hours. We're gonna take the video down, chop it up, pull the good fluent segments from it that could serve as edited videos to upload to YouTube, and then at some point in the future, the video will show back up, right? But you guys that are here making these lives, here on these lives, consider yourself privileged, okay? Because
Oh my God.
with the live, we're all here right now, okay? I'm gonna continue to try to do this every Friday. Not sure if I can do it right now. I said I was gonna try to do it going into the future. I said it last Friday, and I was able to get back on here this Friday. I'm gonna try to do it again next Friday at 9 o'clock as well. So you guys be on the lookout for that. You can stay subscribed to the channel. Get subscribed to the channel if you haven't already, so you can be notified when I'm going live, when we're going live. Here's some big ideas that I want you guys to understand and come away from with as a result of watching this video. One thing is, I want you guys to understand, I didn't talk too much about this, but I want to point out that waiting for things to get back to normal might be dangerous. Okay? I'm talking to the more of the content driver. Again, I'm thinking about the driver, the friend of mine that likes to go fishing sometimes. Um, I'm thinking about conversations that we'll have. And I'm thinking about that driver. There's so many other drivers that fall into this category as well. I'm thinking about that driver, and he will say that there's certain kinds of work that he's used to doing during certain times of year, and he knows during certain times of year that work will fall off, and then in another time of year he expects that work to come back and to pick
It
up.
has seasons.
Exactly. Here's a big takeaway that I want you guys to get. Or one, I got 5. Here's one big takeaway. Waiting for things to get back to normal might be dangerous. Have any of you guys ever heard of a book called Who Moved My Cheese? It's the name of the book. If you have, you can drop, a yes down in the comments. But short and sweet, Jason Blackwell says he's heard of the book. I'm reminded a lot of that book right now, Jason. Because, like
You
I've been
can check it
on.
out on YouTube.
Again?
They got a video on YouTube.
Yes,
That
they
book,
do. They have it on
actual
YouTube as well.
video,
Yes.
like a little.
I've been pulling wood chips now for 3 years, almost 3 years. August will be 3 years. But it's been slow. Somebody else, Mama Bear, says she's heard of it as well. But it's been a little slow since August. All right. There's been freight available, but I haven't really been able to run like I like to run since August. And so, I'm talking to a friend of mine, and he's telling me that, he expects his freight to pick back up in a few months. And I'm telling him that, my work has been a little bit slow. When I first started hauling wood chips, a lot of people told me that around December, wood chips will slow down, and around February, it'll pick back up. People told me that when I first started doing wood chips. But that hasn't really happened any year that I've been on wood chips, except for right now. I find myself waiting for things to pick back up, waiting for things to go back to normal. And I'm reminded of that book, Who Moved My Cheese? I'm reminded of the danger that comes along with waiting for things to go back to the way they were, because they may never go back to the way that they were.
Right.
And in that book, Who Moved My Cheese, there was 2 mice. There was 4 mice. They were both in teams, but one team was waiting for things to go back to the way that they were. And the other team, once they realized that somebody had moved their cheese, or that things had changed, or that things were different, they immediately got busy adapting to the changes.
Right.
And so, right now, every time I talk to that driver, again, there's a side of me that feels exactly like he does. Yeah, I know my freight's going to pick up here in a few months. But when I say that and I sit back and I hear myself saying it, it's like, what if it don't go back to that way? What if they don't move your cheese back? What if they don't put your cheese back? You're wasting time if you're just sitting around waiting for things to go back to the way that they were. Okay, that may be dangerous. It's one of the big ideas I want you guys to take away from everything we discussed and talked about on this video. Another thing I want you guys to take away from watching this video, and again, if you came in the middle and you want to catch the whole thing, be sure to make sure you watch it within the first 24 hours of this video ending. That's the longest the video will be public. But as you're watching the video, the whole thing, these are the big ideas that you could take away from this video. 1, waiting for things to get back to normal might be dangerous. 2, you don't really know what enough is. I know that the popular thing is to do enough. Well, I may not have had the week that I wanted, but I did enough. I covered my bills. And I got a saying that everybody has enough until they don't. Everybody thinks they're doing enough until they realize that they're not. And our world is volatile enough nowadays. 2020 showed us that. The pandemic showed us that. Things can change on a dime. Things can change in a minute. Drastically, exactly. And so, you really don't know what enough is. So, for the people that operate in that space, I'm going to make sure I do enough. Yeah, but what happens when the unexpected happens? Okay, you can't always gauge. So I guess I'm leaning back towards the individual that says, I just got to get it. I just got to go hard every day because I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Right? Like, I understand that mindset. Again, I think that really successful people, they are geared up to push every day, but they're just not doing it maybe out of the same motivation as some of us are doing it. They might not be doing it to escape bills. They might not be doing it out of fear. That's how it feels like. That's why it feels I'm pushing a lot of the times. I'm just saying, like, to get into that space of, this is just how I operate. This is just what I do. Whatever I do great. I do excellent. I think that's a good space to be. This is just how I operate because this is how I operate. I think that's a beautiful place to be. 3, you don't know what tomorrow will bring. I think I've made that clear. That's a big idea. 4th big idea that I want you to come away with in this video is you need an end goal. Okay? I call it an exit strategy, but you need an end goal. A lot of people come in trucking and they're like, I'm just going to do this forever. I love it enough that I'm just going to do it forever until one day you can't. Okay? So you need a way, if you don't have one already. What is your plan to stop driving the truck? What is your plan to pay to cover bills in the event that you can't drive the truck? Or like we know that tomorrow is uncertain. Like okay, you can't drive for the next week. Like I said, I got a relative. For you guys that came in the middle, you probably missed this, but I got a relative that just the other day he was driving in the road on a 2-lane road, traffic going in either direction. He's on this side. There's a truck coming towards him from the other side. Their mirrors hit. My relative says this guy was over the line a little bit too far. Their mirrors collide. My relative's mirror gets knocked into the truck, hits him in the side of the face, almost knocks him out cold, knocks him out of the driver's seat. Somehow he managed not to wreck the truck, not to get the truck in a ditch. But he's out of work now for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? He's out of work now for a couple of days because he just needs to heal up. Okay? So you need an end goal. Okay? If I would say that you don't want to be putting all your eggs in you driving the truck. We know you can make good money. We know that the opportunity is there, but things can change on a dime. And so, you need to have that end goal. You need to have that exit strategy in place. Whether you use it or exercise it or not is another story, but you need to have that plan B and plan C in place for you. Okay. So many things can happen in trucking. So many things can happen. Number 5, and it's the last big takeaway that I want you guys that are gonna go back and watch this video to come away with here. I'm reminded of the movie from Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it? Okay, this is for the people that claim they love trucking. And if you guys remember that movie, the moral of that story was, sure, Ike loved her, but what difference do that make if he ain't treating her good? What difference do that make if the important things are not being focused on? And I would ask the same question to you guys that are listening, to you guys that, say that you love trucking, right? I would say this to anybody that's in the profession. That don't have nothing to do with it, right? What does love have to do with it if you're not focusing on the important things? I love trucking and I'm focused on trucking and I stay optimized and I got tunnel vision, but my baby, my wife, my relationship sucks. I don't know my children because I'm gone all the time. I haven't been taking care of my health because I've been having tunnel vision for so long now. I've been ignoring a lot of the things that are really meaningful in life. There's a video going around right now on Facebook. What if I gave you $10 million? How would you feel? I'd feel great. What if I gave you $100 million? Could anybody dampen your attitude? No, I'd be, unstoppable. Well, what if I told you that you had a choice? I'll give you the 100 million or you can wake up tomorrow. Meaning you got to pick from waking up tomorrow or getting the 100 million. You say, well, I'd much rather forget the 100 million. I'd rather wake up tomorrow. So you could, from that perspective, look at it and say waking up tomorrow is worth more than 100 million. I woke up today. Man, that's worth more than 100 million. That don't mean you don't still want the 100 million. I'm just saying. What's love got to do with it if you're not focusing on the important things? And in that example I just gave, the important thing was being able to wake up. But there's important things in life. Relationships are important. I keep mentioning health. Health is important because trucking is hard on your health. It's hard on your health. And if you not stretching and then you not exercising and you not, I've been drinking soda and I'm not real hard on the soda. Whoever said that earlier, this soda is up here. And I've been out here on live for 2 hours now. So, but taking care of your health, taking care of your mental health, all that's a factor. So, I love trucking. I just love it. That's fine. But you can't use that as an excuse to not be focused on the really important things in this world. Okay, so those are the 5 big takeaways that I would want whoever watched this video to come away with.
I got nothing.
You got nothing because you're tired, or you got nothing because
Got nothing.
just got
You
nothing?
said it all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that your way of saying I ain't let you talk? Is that your way of saying that? Is that your way of saying that? Anything I said, you can say it again. You know what I mean? You got your own way of saying things.
I do. It's all right. I'm here to support you. I had my time.
Read through a few of these comments.
Yeah, they were way back.
No, not really. In between the lines, I seen a driver smoking a cig while hauling fuel. Jordan Tuggle, imagine passing a trucker and you see him reading a book while going 70. I've seen it, boss. I've seen it. It's
Crazy.
scary though. I'll be honest with you.
That's crazy.
Great streak. If I could say something funny, I guess he wanted to light it up. Talking about the guy
For
smoking a
real.
cigarette while driving.
Yeah.
Dewan Cole, leave the video up and still chop it up. More views, long listener likers, and short listener likes. That's a good idea, but I'm not gonna do that, Dewan. And again, if you're here with me right now, consider yourself privileged because the video is not gonna stay live. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that element right there. That's the reason why I'm not gonna leave it live because I want people to be like, "Oh, his lives are good. I gotta make sure that I catch it." And it don't create that effect if I leave the live public. And you don't have to be here to catch my live because they stay up on the channel. So yeah, this is a little experiment. I appreciate that comment, Dewan, but this is a little experiment that I'm going with here. Jordan Tuggle, I enjoy interacting with y'all. I enjoyed you being here, Jordan. I'm gonna lay down. Hopefully, I get a good route tomorrow. Absolutely, appreciate you being here, Jordan. Great streak, amen. What do that mean right there?
See ya.
Oh, Jordan Tuggle, see ya. Dewan Cole, that's how YouTubers get a lot of views. Dewan Cole, YouTubers. Yeah. Mama Bear, as a new driver, your suggestion of an exit strategy is what made me subscribe. I thank you for sharing quality content. Would you say?
That's a good helpful trucker, not just a YouTuber.
Landon Farino, there you go. How much percent of your time do you put into side hustle versus main job? That's a difficult question to ask. I mean, people ask me all the time. They say, "Are you working this weekend?" My answer is, I'm always working. You got something to do this evening? Yeah. What? I don't even know. I got to look at my schedule to see, but I know I got something to do. I got some calls to make. I got something to create. I got something to edit. I got something to do something to. I got a meeting to have. I got something. So I can't really give you a percentage time like that, Landon, but I can say me personally, I mean, whenever I'm not in the truck, I got to be doing something. Go for it. You want to say something?
Quality time. This is quality time.
I agree with your quality self.
Yep. Maybe blush.
Matt, can't type much because I'm driving currently at stoplight, but this live is great. I appreciate that, Matt. Absolutely. And I appreciate the donation, the support that you sent to our GoFundMe, Matt. I did see I saw somebody put something in there. I'm assuming it was you, Matt. I appreciate that. Definitely, man. Appreciate the support. Okay. There's a lot of people that are like, hey man, this guy's content is good. I appreciate all the love, but like some of us is like, yo, let me really send them some support. We need that type of support right now. We're starting this school, family. We really do. Again, check the links in the chat. You can drop them in there again. We got the t-shirts that we got on. We got the shirts that we got on available for sale. If you want to click
So
the link,
tall.
if you want to click the link and go get you one for you, get you one for your wife. Again, we doing this stuff because we need to raise money for the school, all right? Jason Blackwell, your intent is to do the live streams every Friday at 9. Is that Eastern? Yes, it is Eastern time, Jason Blackwell. I came in late, but want to catch the whole stream in the future. Yeah, my lives will be this one. It's gonna be up for no more than 24 hours. Then I'm gonna take it down. I'm gonna edit it up, chop it up, have my editor do that, and then at some point in the future, the good segments of this video will go back out on the channel. But you do have 24 hours to go back and check it out. In between the lines says, "What's your GoFundMe?" I want you to drop the GoFundMe up there again.
Drop my link in there.
No, don't do that right now.
You-
Matter of fact, I can drop it in there. I'll drop it in there real quick. Where am I?
Sorry.
No. I need to go in here. You can just go in there and get it. Yeah, just grab the GoFundMe link. Just grab that link and then put it in the comments and pin it.
This is what I do.
There we go. The dude reading and driving was probably reading anime, guaranteed. Say what? Yeah, you got it in there. I don't know. The phone do stuff like that sometimes. But there you go. There you go. It's in there. Now just hold the link. Just hold it like that. There you go. There you go. All right. So we pinned the GoFundMe link. Anybody that wants to support, please feel free to. We definitely could use your support, and we most certainly appreciate it. Hmm?
Which email address?
What you want that for?
Do I call?
The helpful trucker at gmail.com. Yeah.
That's one?
Hmm? What's that? What did you do?
Email. That's the right one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an email I created specifically for people that wanted to message me. I'm like, Dad, I ain't even got the helpful trucker at Gmail.
That's so many. I can't
I
keep
know,
up.
I know, man. I know.
I'm trying to
I
keep
know.
track of all the emails.
I know, man. My email game is crazy.
Like 20 emails. One for every finger.
My
and every
email
toe.
game is crazy.
Which one is it?
All right, so family, look, man, we've been on 2 hours and 17 minutes. I hope you guys got value. I plan to come back on next Friday. Hopefully, we can both be on here, but if we can't, I'm gonna be on here, and if I can't, she gonna be on here. But I'm gonna be on here though. I'm gonna be on here. But yeah, if you can, remember next Friday, 9 o'clock. Things could change from that. I'm gonna do my best to keep that schedule going. And again, I'm doing that. We're doing that for a specific reason. We want the audience to feel like, ooh, let me go back and catch his lives. Like we want you here with us. Again, if we just leave the lives up, then you got no reason to come back. You know what I mean? Because the lives are always available on the channel. So that's the reason why we doing it this way. If you're able to make a live, I'm gonna say again, consider yourself privileged because now is when we're all here. You know, on a regular video that we upload, I upload it and you comment back on it in another day or two. I can respond to your comment, but right now live, we all here interacting and engaging and hopefully getting to know each other a little bit better. That's the whole purpose, right? So, was this cool with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was cool with me. I hope this was cool with you guys. Make sure you be on the lookout for the next live Friday at 9. You got the next 24 hours at no more than the next 24 hours to check out this whole video
Eastern Standard Time.
right here. Well, 24 hours, 24 hours, but it's Eastern Standard Time, what? But I'm just saying, it's not going to be public no more than 24 hours. I might make it unpublic within 12 hours. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you want to see this video, don't waste time. Go back and look at the whole video. You guys that donated to the GoFundMe, I appreciate you. Anybody that slipped in a shirt order while we're on here, I most certainly appreciate you as well. The email address is thehelpfultrucker@gmail.com. For those that want to know, if you got questions that I can help you with, send them over and I'll see what I can do. Or if you got video suggestions or live stream suggestions, feel free to send them over. Definitely. Other than that, that's it for us. We done for the night. We'll see you guys either next Friday or on the next uploaded video. Appreciate y'all being here.
Peace.